Yeah. 40 seconds. Welcome back, everybody. I hope everybody's having a wonderful evening. We are coming to you live from the X Factor Safety Studios in Houston, Texas. You know what it is. It's the Fireside Chat, number 18. Yeah, we're coming to you from all of our social media platforms over on the radio station, coming live streaming to you from Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, as well as safetyfm.com, safetyfm.live, and the Safety FM app. So, yeah, no, good. And before I go into what we're talking about today, just make sure that you go ahead and subscribe, like, share, tell your friends about the show. If you have suggestions, please drop me a DM, shoot me a message, hit me up. Definitely liking it. Getting to you guys and catering to what you like and what you want to see. So again, subscribe, like, share, do all that fun stuff that we like to do. So jumping into the meat of it, let me get these overlays over here. Got to get where we're streaming at. Got to get the logo up. You know what? The fun stuff, the back end stuff that we like to do. What's going on, Jamal Marshall? My man. What's up, my dude? So we're talking today about what are we teaching our youth, and not so much. I'm not talking about our kids' youth. Yes, granted, we are definitely making sure that our youth is well prepared, that they are ready for life when they get out of high school, when they get out of college. But even youth, as in somebody coming out of college and young to the profession that they're in, young into what they are growing into. So what information are we telling them? And are we telling them the right information? The biggest thing, and again, you hear different information from everywhere. Sometimes it's echo chambers that you end up getting into, and you hear the same thing, but it's the same wrong information. It's definitely something that needs to be talked about a little bit more, so that way we are definitely showing our youth the right path onto their journey to success, whatever that may be, whether it be, being a doctor, being a lawyer, being a construction worker, safety professional, a podcast host and live stream host, right? It goes without saying, you have to give the right information. And how do you give that right information? What is it that is right about the information that you're giving? Again, experience, right? Knowledge from your schooling, and that experience can then be passed down in information and advice. But if you hear somebody, and I say echo chambers, if you hear somebody saying something and you think it's right, and then you go tell somebody else, guess what? I heard it over here. It sounds right. I think you should be doing X, Y, and Z. That's not the case, because X, Y, and Z ends up being wrong. And I'm not saying I know everything. Trust me, by no means do I know everything. By no means do I consider myself all knowing. But I know a little bit about everything. So I definitely know when somebody's spitting out bad information. I know when somebody is not being 100% truthful with what they're saying or their expertise. What we call in the safety world, and part of my language, we know when somebody's bullshitting. Okay. Pardon my language. Good to see everybody. Oh my God, the chat is lighting up. Good evening, Mr. Josh Becker. How are you, sir? Solomon, my man. Hello, everyone. Jamal Marshall said Josh is in the house. Mr. Nathan Bremen. Good to see you, sir. Hello, everyone. Hey, there's a familiar face. Hello, Mallory. How are you? Happy New Year. Good to see everybody. Jamal Marshall said, Nathan Redbeard, it's been forever, my dude. Glad you're still alive. And again, I'm reading these comments so that way everybody's involved. Everybody, is understanding what's going on with the chat. Nathan said there is an element of rebellion amongst youth, which is good and bad. We hope they don't rebel against good teachings, but it is good to rebel against the bad teachings. I completely understand that, Nate. Again, having teenagers, us being teenagers ourselves, sometimes we rebelled against the good teachings because we didn't think it was right. We didn't know any better. But in all reality, those good teachings were instilled in us and were given to us. As much as we wanted to rebel, we held on to them. And they were, said morals and values that were instilled, from our parents, our grandparents. That's one of the biggest things that I can take away from my grandfather. He had a great work ethic. He was a workaholic. And yes, I am a workaholic. I have toned down a little bit, but you can ask my wife. She definitely says that I'm a workaholic. The kids say I'm a workaholic, but that work ethic to go out there and make your dollar the best way you can. Doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're sweeping floors, if you are, working at, a fast food restaurant, if you're bussing tables, if you're washing dishes, anything, any job, as long as you're going out there and making an honest dollar, that work ethic will get you places. That's what I take away from my grandfather. Again, a lot of other stuff that he's, instilled in me. Nathan said, hopefully a youth will rebel against the teachings of a narcissist. Completely understood. And Solomon said, Jamal Marshall is, I heard that too. I said the naughty word. It wasn't that bad. My man, Phil, hola, bro. Hello to everyone. Mentoring is crucial, but before I give advice, I always check it twice. Yep. That is one of the biggest things that you have to do when you are trying to teach somebody. Make sure that your information, your advice is going to serve them in the best way possible. So check your information before you go just splurting it out. That, here it is, because I know I heard it somewhere. No, go check your facts. That way you're able to then give them the right advice. And then what ends up happening is they question it. They question that advice. Well, why are you giving me this advice? Or where did you get this information from? How did you get this information? And then you're able to then coach them and mentor them into showing, how you got to said conclusion or said advice. So I completely understand that you got to check your information twice. Nathan said, I'm working on a new site. Is it compensable.com? And San Pedro was on, and I'm listening while I work. Good to see everyone. Yeah, good to see you too, brother. Greatly appreciate it. Your bro mess with you. Appreciate it, Jamal. Jamal said fact checking is huge in the information age. Solid word from Phil Rizzo. Yeah, and again, it goes to show, kids these days are so darn smart. They understand what somebody is saying. They read between the lines. And again, because of technology, because of social media, because of, the media in general, kids these days are picking up on things that, back in the day, like for me, I was worried about playing outside. I was worried about, at 13 getting the paper route and making $1 and trying to figure out how I can save some so that way I can get me, what I wanted. I can get me the new Walkman or the Discman, those types of things. Kids these days are focused on the technology. It's advanced, and we've had to move with the times. But when we move with the times, that information that we are giving them, those values and those core resolutions that we're trying to instill in them, also need to move with the times. One, to keep them protected. Two, to also make sure that they're going to be, stand up citizens, stand up people with a good, moral value behind them. Jeremiah Johnson said 3 times every once in a while. Yeah, you were correct. You were correct when you were checking your facts. Sometimes you gotta, they say measure twice, cut once. Sometimes you gotta measure 3 or 4 times. So that way they get exactly what they need when they need it. So I would like to know the people that are here in the chat. Jamal Marshall said, I get it, bro. I'm working on a podcast on Google, already approved by Apple. Was really good. Pedro's show is helping me out. It's helping me not freak out. Plus, I love this topic. Yeah, no, definitely. Don't freak out. You got it. And again, your boy's right here. Holler at your boy. But I mean, the fact of the matter is, check your advice, check your facts that you got going. Shout out Sam Goodman, gave us a like over on the Facebook. Siobhan Colleen, same. Greatly appreciate y'all tuning in and checking us out. But the biggest thing that for 2021 in regards to that, and I wanted to make sure that it's to the youth and anybody in the safety space, as well as other professions that are out there. Take the time to mentor and guide those younger individuals, because what ends up happening is you end up being somebody that they lean upon when they have problems, that you are able to be that in a sense guiding light when it starts to kind of get dark. Right. And I'm not saying that it's gonna get super dark. No, 2021 is gonna be a year for growth and success. But you have to make sure that you are mentoring in the right way. Sometimes being a mentor means just listening, just sitting down and listening to, your mentees, issues and concerns. It helps so much when you can just sit there and listen. I had a conversation the other day, and it was, about listening. And, I had told the individual, the reason why you have 2 ears and 1 mouth is so you can listen twice as much. Right. And he kind of, stepped back for a little bit and was like, you're right. You have to listen more. You analyze everything, interpret, and then give out the information or the advice or the coaching or, the information that you want them to understand, the instructions that you want them to understand. So it's imperative that we listen to what's going on. Mallory said phone in number. I will put the phone in number here shortly. The call in, the X Factor hotline. Nathan said, Jamal, if you feel any fear, it usually means you should be doing it. Fear is a compass that leads you to growth. Love you. 2021 should be a better year. Nathan, my dude, that was a word from a true brother. Thanks, friend. Love you back. Don't be afraid to train your replacement. And Josh, that right there is the prime example of, us being able to give the right advice, us being able to grow as professionals and as humans to not be afraid to train our replacement. Why? Because again, while you grow, you have to grow the people that are coming behind you to fill those roles. Why? Because they're going to have your back. They're going to be able to assist you in what you got going on. And if you train them the right way, if you give them the right advice and the tools to put in their tool belt, then they become that much more prepared for success. Jamal said, yes, sir. Pedro dropping bombs of wisdom. The worst counseling session is one where the counselor is doing the majority of the talking. Yep, that is true. That is true. Solomon said God wouldn't give it if he did not think you could handle it, Jamal. So again, you got it, brother. You know that, you have people to reach out to, and that's another thing, making sure that what's going on, Nick Dorsey, good to see you, brother. That's one of the things, knowing the people that you can reach out to, the people that you feel comfortable with expressing and kind of opening up and being vulnerable. Because that right there shows good friendship, a good mentorship, a good peer-to-peer conversation to where I can say, hey, I have a problem. I need some help. I definitely lean on my wife a lot with any kind of troubles that I'm having. She knows me like, the back of her hand, and she helps so much in those times of need, especially when, I'm feeling a little down. Again, I work out of town a lot, missing the kids, missing the family, not being able to be home, those types of things, and she puts me at ease. I am, like I said, I am a workaholic. I stay out of town, but you do get homesick. Sometimes you get real homesick and you kind of break down a little bit, but then you have a good wife that picks you back up. So Nathan said it comes from the legend of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. They were seeking the Holy Grail by entering the forest at the place that looked darkest to them. I like that. Nate. DJ, how are you? Good to see you. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. That includes family, friends, and clients, and especially the youth. They can smell the fakeness. I like that, Jamal. And it's so true. They know when it's capped. They know when it's all fake. It's just, and again, that's the times that we are in now. They are so smart and they understand what's going on. Nick Dorsey said it's best to have two mentors, one work-wise and one personal. That's a good pointer right there, Nick. Having a good mentor on the professional side, and I know I talked about this, when we talked about imposter syndrome, but having those two mentors, like you said, one that's professional, on the work side, that's going to kick you in the ass and say, hey, you have to get stuff done. You're gonna go through those obstacles. You're gonna go through those trials and tribulations, but you can make it through. And then you have one on the personal side when you do, in a sense, reach that dark portion of life that is there to listen to you, that's there to console you, to give you a big hug, to tell you everything's gonna be okay, and to be by your side. That right there makes it it makes it a little bit easier to get through things. Nick Dorsey, great advice from Jamal. From Solomon, sorry. And then Jamal said, hey sis, to Miss DJ, how are you? Phil Rizzo, plans fail for the lack of good counsel. The youth are very impressionable, but we have to meet them where they are. Josh was on the money about training our replacements. I definitely understand, the youth are very impressionable, and you do have to meet them where they're at. You know, I say this because I have daughters and teenage daughters at that. It is a little hard to talk to my teenage daughters about certain things, but I try my best to listen to what they have to say, how they are feeling, so that way they know that they can come and have that trust in their dad to be there to support them and to to hug them and nurture them in a sense when they are going through their own obstacles and trials and tribulations. I would give you a big hug, Nate. If we could do that stuff, I would give you a big hug, brother. Solomon, thanks for the encouragement, my friend. From Jamal. Jamal said, "You're welcome, bro." Solomon said, "Jamal, you're welcome." So I mean, it just goes to show that what you are doing, um, does not go unnoticed. But just make sure that your information, your facts, your advice is in the right way. It's getting, to them in the right way. It's the right information. Don't sell them any false information, because once you break that trust and they figure out that what you told them was not truth, that it was fake, it was a lie, guess what? It's going to be twice as hard for you to try to build that rapport back up, because now they're going to have a roadblock. They're going to have that wall up against you because you betrayed that trust. You were not able to, you know, give them the straight answer. And if you don't know, you don't know. Say you don't know, but you can figure it out. That's one of the biggest things. I don't ever tell anybody that, I know everything or give false information. If I don't know, I don't know, but I'll go investigate. I'll phone a friend. I'll go, look on the computer and research. So that way I give the best, most accurate information for the question or advice that's being asked of me. Mallory said, in my youth school, in my youth, schools offered home ec, shop, technology, etc. Do you think we are going to see a backlash of lack of skills with the generation, since we are so advanced in technology? Are we losing the opportunity to learn basic life skills? That is a great question, Mallory. That is one of the things. And let me just put that up there for a little bit longer so people can get it. That is one of those things that, what they are teaching. Yes, they're teaching computer skills and whatnot. Like my daughter is taking a engineering class, which in essence encompasses the wood shop. They do have some what they call life skills, and this is in Texas. I don't know what area you're in, or if what areas in the country are still offering these types of classes, but it is beneficial because they learn those skills and skilled trades such as welding, metal shop, auto mechanics in school. Your carpentry, your wood shop, those types of things they're not offering anymore, because again, they're going to the computer-based learning, the virtual reality stuff, learning how to to code, learning how some of they're spending a lot of money, I know, in the STEM courses and classes. It definitely is a big subject, and I think there will be a decrease in those basic life skills, but they will come back because there is a need. There is always a need for those basic life skills, especially home ec and wood shop, because you got to learn how to build and you got to feed yourself. Got to learn how to cook. Not everything is microwave. Mallory is touching on a huge topic. Our generations are shifting. I'm in DC. We are at a fast pace up here. And being different parts of the country and parts of the world for that matter. What are people teaching over in the UK? What are they learning over in the UK? Are they teaching the skilled trades? Are we pushing the skilled trades here inside high school, going on to college? Um, Josh Becker said, Mallory, great point in case. My children's high school offer a flight program where students can graduate with a pilot's license. Just an example of how schools can incorporate skill-based careers. And that is true. Those skill-based careers, in my eyes, will, once you learn a skill set, you can then continue to learn other skill sets to add on top of that. So you learn carpentry. Okay, well, now I'm a good carpenter. Let me go try, being a metal worker, learning how to weld. After I learn how to weld, let me learn how to, weld different types of material, pipe, um, stainless, there's MIG, there's TIG, stick. And these are all welding terms. So it is good to have those skilled trades, because you can not only just focus on one, you can encompass a little bit of everything. Safety professionals, learn some of those skilled trades, don't be afraid to go out there with your carpenters, with your iron workers, with your civil engineers and your civil workers, and learn what they're doing, because at the end of the day, you're gaining knowledge. You're showing that you're out there, helping and assisting, wanting to learn more. And then in return, you're gaining some knowledge out of that. You're able to then, the next time you go to a new job site and you see, oh, iron workers, I know they're going to be hanging steel. I know what a truss is. I know what a girder is. I know what a piece of angle iron is. I know what a column is. Those types of things. I know how they're connecting it, right? If you're in the residential side, or you decide to build a house yourself, or you're doing some type of building, again, I know how to use a speed square. I know how to use a level. I know how to, run a tape line or a chalk line, and make sure that I'm plumb and those types of things. So it's definitely good to dive into a little bit of those skilled trades. So, but no, definitely, good topic. Definitely good topic there, Mallory. So again, we are coming to you live from the X Factor Safety Studios in Houston, Texas. SafetyFM.com, SafetyFM.live, and the Safety FM app. We have been going strong for 27 minutes past the hour. I got a lot of people engaging on the comments. Greatly appreciate everybody that's here. Again, we're coming to you to, on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you decide to watch us from. And if you can't watch us live right here, real time, it's okay. The replays are always there. And then out on the radio station, a lot of times these fireside chats end up going to a podcast version. So stay tuned for those. Some of the stuff that we got coming up here at the X Factor Safety, my man Philo. I teach, and the expectations on both the college level and high school level in my area have been dummied down so much it is sad, especially along basics such as reading, writing, and arithmetic. Yeah, that is sad, Philip. And again, why is the schooling and, like you said, the expectations being dummied down? I know you're up in Ohio, so why different parts of the country? Why do that? It's one of those things that we need to fix. We can do better. So some things coming up. Got some good interviews that'll be coming down the pipeline here with the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for those. They will be in depth, real world talking topics that need to be talked about. So I look forward to those. They're gonna be fun. They're gonna be good. We're gonna get some knowledge, some knowledge bombs being dropped. And we're also going to be able to, have a guest on, get to see some, how somebody else is doing things, and listen to their story. So stay tuned for that. As always, I am here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Now, if something changes, I let you guys know. Josh Becker said, I can attest and second that. It seems to be a common theme in academia today. That is true. Certain areas of the country are starting to trickle back how they are doing certain things. Shout out Neil Haley. Good to see you. Thank you for the like. So we're here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, over on the radio station. And then throughout the week, we'll have an extra live, whether it be me by myself or with the guest. So stay tuned for some of those guest interviews. We got some stuff coming up, like I said, and in the works. Been trying to get some stuff on the back end to make this production look a little bit better, for you guys, and gals. Greatly appreciate it. So with that being said, let's see. Philip Rizzo, the administrators in my geographical area have permitted this in order to teach to the state required test. Wow. Hello, Carrie. How are you? Education 20 years ago was not practical. Real life aspects are missing. We learned math, but not budgeting. Example. Thanks, Pedro. No, thank you. Great to see you. Mallory said, what do you think about larger corporations developing their own social media broadcast geared towards the company and its employees? An opportunity to learn about the company and relay site-specific information, sort of like an AM broadcast. I am always for companies to broadcast live in what they're doing. I'm always up for the live video because then I can see the CEO, the COO, owner of the company, the safety professional in real time. I'm all for it. It's definitely one of those good things that, again, and this is where technology has brought us, and a lot of times people have said, radio was king until TV came around and TV killed radio. But then now podcasting comes back in a radio format in essence. And so, we're back on the map. And again, the productions and larger corporations doing some type of media like this would definitely work out. Mallory, I think it would be beneficial. One, because you can get your vision, maybe some best practices that you're practicing out there. Again, you don't want to give out any trade secrets or anything that might be, only privy to the people that are working there, but a generic, encompassing brand, big corporation that wants to get, visibility. And what better way to do it than to go live like this, to be on the radio station like we are now. So great question. I greatly appreciate that. So, and one of the biggest things, for, like you were saying, Carrie, that 20 years ago it wasn't practical. It was not practical to learn about budgeting. Like me and my wife, we are teaching our daughters, the importance of credit, the importance of learning, how to budget, how to maintain a budget, how to. And I think we've done it a little too well because my oldest is so frugal. She's such a bargain shopper. She scored big at the Dollar Tree. She got a whole bunch of stuff for like $5-6. I was like, wow, But again, it's those little wins right there that show me and my wife that we are actually doing a great job in raising the kids, to giving them those life skills, to giving them the information that they need to go out when they do spread their wings and leave the nest to be successful. They can always come back. Trust me, they will always come back. I will always have a place for my babies, but go out, be successful. Solomon said, great question, Mallory. LinkedIn user, sup, brother? I think that might be Tony Taylor. Somebody let me know who that is. But yeah, I mean, it's it's one of those things. You just have to make sure that we are setting our youth, and again, our kids as youth, but even the young safety professionals, the young professionals coming out into the world, have to set them up to be successful. You learn through the school of hard knocks. Don't let them learn through the school of hard knocks. Yes, do they have to learn um, through obstacles? Of course, no problem. There you go, Steve Evans. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. You know, yes, we have to go through our trials and tribulations, but again, you're being able to mentor somebody, being able to give that advice so they are successful. It doesn't have to be as hard as it was like when you went through your obstacles. And just ask yourself that, what would you tell your younger self with what you know now? What would you tell your younger self? Right? Again, get you a mentor, work your ass off. Don't listen to the white noise around you. Right? You are going to fall down, but get back up and keep going. I mean, that's real talk right there. That's what has to happen. So again, I greatly appreciate it. I keep these to about 30, 35 minutes. Some of the other ones we do go an hour, but I greatly appreciate that. All the engagement, all the questions, all the comments that were in the chat. Mallory, Jamal, Nathan, Solomon, Nick, good to see you. Josh Becker, Philip Rizzo, thank you. Carrie, good to see you. DJ, Steve Evans, thank you very much. Everybody that's seen us over on Facebook that liked us. Neil Haley, Sam Goodman, Siobhan Colleen, greatly appreciate the support. Cassie Stevens said I would tell my younger self to listen to the elders and learn from their mistakes. That's a good one. That is a good one. So again, just think about it the next time you're going to give some advice. Just ask yourself that question. Am I going to give them the right advice? Do I know how to answer that follow-up question when they ask me, well, where did you get this advice from? Or where did you get this information from? How do you know this is how it's supposed to be done? No, thank you, Josh. Greatly appreciate it. I would tell my younger self, you are not invincible. Stop taking risk. You're going to pay for it later. I wouldn't listen though, Cassie Stevens. Yeah, no, you're totally right. Again, you go through that. And again, it's the experience that we have now as adults that we are able to then talk to our youth, our kids, the younger professionals coming out into the world, and to give them that advice. And again, you can give them advice, you can give them guidance, but again, it's what they do with it that makes them who they are. So definitely take that into consideration as well. So with that being said, greatly appreciated. Those that are on the radio, ask yourself that one question. What is your X factor? And those that are live, ask yourself that one question. What is your X factor? So until next time, we'll see you later.